Hi everyone, I hope you're good guys and welcome for a new video. So today we're gonna talk about third-party plugin, and I know my YouTube channel it's All You Need Is Live, it's only talking about Ableton Live plugin, but I wanted to take the time to talk a little bit about third-party plugin because obviously I use some of them, not that many, I would say like around 10% and 90% is Ableton, but I still use some from time to time, and it's a good way to show you as well how much money and time I spent into the third-party plugin that on the end I'm not using anymore. So that was the main reason as well I created this channel, is to for you avoid to do the same mistake than I, and to think about, okay, Ableton plugins are really great and most of them can do already what all of the other third-party plugins can do, so don't spend time and especially money on third-party plugin when your original plugin in Ableton can do more or less the exactly same job. So the idea of the video is going through all of my list of third-party plugin and showing you the one I use and the one I don't use, and you're gonna see that I just use only a few. But let's go inside Ableton and we're gonna talk about, we give you some advice as well maybe about plugin, but even though I will strongly recommend to don't download 1000 and don't buy 1000. So we are in our plugin here and you can see there is a fucking long list. And let's start with the first one. So Captain, I bought this Captain for Captain chord because I suck at chord progression, and that was a good way to kind of trying to find nice chord progression. The thing is, at the end, I don't really use much because it's kind of hard to find, like I like, even though I know I don't play chords, I like to be able to play like the chord live, and I would like to find something like in the machine where you can press pad and that is playing chords. But I might have a device, and I will make a video very soon about this device that I think can solve this problem. So yeah, the other one I've never opened in Captain because I don't even know if I don't care. Then you have the Wave plugin. So it's really hard to resist to extreme aggressive wave marketing because all of the plugins are always insane and super cheap. But you can see Abbey Road is a plate, but it's a reverb but never used. You have the exciter, never used. I mean, I used a little bit, it's like I use for 1 month or 2 weeks and then after I stop using it. This is the IPI 2500. I barely use it. I don't use the compressor. The DPR I think it's a compressor. I don't even know what it is. I don't use Element. It's a scent. I don't really use. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that it's no good. It's just I don't use them. Ashcomp, Ashdelay I don't use. G37. Yeah, this one I use. This one I like because Ableton Live doesn't have any kind of tape plugin. And you got this one, or you get there is another one in Waves. It's the Cramer Tape, and yeah, this one, and to be honest, this one I only use it when there is a sound which is a bit like weak and cold, and it's really great to kind of add a bit of warm. And for the stereo as well, it had a bit of stereo. I'm not gonna lie to you, I use I use the preset. You have 3 presets. You have mastering, IFX, smoothing, round bottom, and all these 3 mastering effects I use depending on the sound, and that sounds great. It works. It do the job like what I'm looking for. So yeah. Then you have the L3 plugin, which are like a maximizer. You have the L2 as well, which is pretty known. Let's take the stereo. Actually, this one is a multiband. Which one I use? Is this one I used to use. I'm not using anymore that much. I replace one by one that I will talk about it later. But yeah, MV2, I don't even remember what it is. The one knob. This is great at the beginning if you're a beginner and you want something that makes you sound good quick, but after a period you stop using them. And Airbase really great, but I've kind of replaced it. I mean, if you're familiar with my video, I have this audio effect. If I go to Corpus, that's the one I'm always talking about in my video. I have this that I will name Airbase Style, which is basically the resonator you have here. You see, it's like you choose the frequency here, and you can choose the frequency here, and then after it's the intensity, and it's more or less the same. It's kind of doing the same job, adding resonance in the resonance and harmonics in the low frequency. But yeah, this again I replace with Ableton plugin. Most of the plugin is, you're gonna see I have a lot of plugin that at the end, when I start using more and more Ableton, I start slowly to use less third-party plugin and replace them by Ableton plugin. Transix is a transient shaper. I don't use it anymore. And Vitamin is a multiband. I don't even remember. It's a multiband something. I don't even remember what. I don't know if it's multiband compression. I think it's the stereo as well, maybe. I don't even remember. It's telling you how few I use them. And then you have as well the Pultec plugin that I don't use. So yeah, already a lot of wave plugin. From all of the one I bought, I just use one, which is the tape one. But probably the day Ableton release a tape plugin, which I hope one day they will, I will stop using it. And then so other plugin, I have the Analog Glide, which is like from Arturia, and you know it's coming. I have the V collection. You're gonna see. I'm not gonna go through all of the individual plugin, but I have this all vintage scent. This is something as well I don't use. And the great thing is, if you are not into sound design and you prefer to use preset, this is great because you have plenty of preset and you can select them by category. You can choose bass, lead, you can choose aggressive, this kind of stuff. So that's great, but I don't use it because you can see here you can choose different kind of style and stuff like that. But I don't use it because, to be honest, I'm tired of looking for preset, and it's faster if I create them from scratch and I know what I want. All right, then I have this Apollon. So this, I think it's 808 or 909 drum box. It's like a small company. I don't remember the name of the company, but you get kind of 808 sound, and it's cheap. It's like, I think it's less than £10. But yeah, Apollon. Then the ARP is the Arturia stuff. We have bass room. So this is something I use as well 2 weeks, and then after I stop using it. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean it's no good. It's just it didn't really wow me, and so I say okay. But I will maybe give it another try. But you can like basically it's kind of multi-band, I guess, EQ or multi-band compressor, more or less. It's just like a kind of different design, and you know it's always like this with plugin. You know, it's like they take a concept, they kind of change the design, like making it looks good and making it looks different, and they say, oh, this new plugin is amazing, but it's just doing like what other plugins are doing. So yeah, Black Hole. So this as well, this is a reverb from Eventide, and this is really nice. This was for Rumble, you can use it. I use it originally for Rumble, but I don't use it that much. Because the rack I've done with the Ableton reverb works well, and yeah, it's good reverb, but it's kind of getting easily messy, you know, like but it can be nice for ambience and stuff like that. This one I'm gonna talk about it even if it's Arturia, and I say I will don't go, because this one I like actually, and I use more often than the other because it's kind of a different kind of synthesis than it's called synthesis, and it's great because it pushed me to things differently than the normal synthesizer, and you need a bit of time to get used to it and to be familiar with, but it's great. And you have this famous plugin here that you can hear in a lot of Techno track. I don't remember. I think it's the Deep Forest. But I need to remove the effect. This is like there is another one where there is a lot of techno track with, but anyway, Clavinet is also kind of synthesizer from Arturia. So then you have Crystallizer. So this is from the Sound Toys. I have the Sound Toys kind of suits, and I don't really use that much, but it's great to kind of get this kind of weird granular effect, kind of granular delay, granular echo synthesizer. But yeah, I don't use it much because it's not really my cup of tea. All right, then this is old synth from Arturia Decapitator, which is again, so this I used to use it a lot, but then since I start to use Ableton plugin way much more, and especially the saturator, I've kind of stopped using it. I'm almost not using it anymore, to be honest, because yeah, saturator was great. But yeah, Then I have Decimo. This is the same. I don't use anymore. So you can see how many from all we started already. There is, except the G37 from Wave. All of them I don't use them that much, except the Buchla maybe. But even the Buchla I don't use it that much. So yeah, this one is the same. It's a bit crusher. This is great because I mean the Ableton one is kind of limited. So if you want something a bit more with depth, it's a nice one. But to be honest, I never use it. I always use the Ableton one because it's enough. Denise Retro, this I have no idea what it is. I guess it's kind of vinyl noisy. I don't know what it is. This was probably a free plugin that I download. David Lock, this is again is from Sound Toys, but I think there is a version. Oh yeah, there is a bigger version. The Deluxe is a bigger version actually. And yeah, so it's kind of distortion, audio level destroyer. Same, I don't use because I have the pedal, I have the amp, and I have the saturator in live. And like, it's always about what you have in your head and how you're gonna manage to recreate it. And you can get more or less what David Lock does with the Ableton plugin. So I don't use that much. It's yeah. DX7, so that's the DX7 from Arturia as well. EcoBoy, I used to use it all the time, but then since Ableton released the Echo device, I completely stopped using it. But yeah, if I was not an Ableton user, I would still use it a lot. It's a really nice plugin. Sometimes does very great plugin. EcoBoy Juno, Effect Rock, this is all Sound Toys. Fab Filter, okay, so Fab Filter, I have two of them that I like. The Pro L, which is the limiter, and the Saturn, which is saturation. You can see I'm a big fan of saturation. I think anyway, anyone is a big fan of saturation. So the limiter is the old version. I think now there is a 2, but I didn't upgrade because it works. And I'm always scared to upgrade. It's like the Wave plugin, I don't upgrade them because first you have to pay. And second, like this one work, I'm happy with, so no reason to upgrade it. And I love the Saturn as well. It's a saturation, and I know there is the 2 I think as well, but this is great plugin as well. I like a different kind of saturation than the Ableton one. So yeah, that's 2 plugins that I use more often than the other. And so Farfisa, it's Arturia stuff. Alright, Filter Freak is from Sound Toys as well, if I remember well. This is stuff that I never. This is kind of filter movement stuff. You have the auto filter in live, I guess, and it's kind of this one. I always like a bit more. Have a bit more parameter, but most of the time for what I need, Ableton is enough, so I don't use them. Then we have Focus. I have no idea what it is. Soundsport. Okay. Right. This is I remember this brand Soundsport. I have nothing against Soundsport, and don't get me wrong, but this was something like was £1 in plugin boutique. Like, it's the kind of plugin you can get for £1. And there is probably a lot, but yeah, the next one, Frontier, I have no idea what it is. It's probably the same. No, actually, this is from the 16. Let me check. You see, I don't even remember what my plugin are. Soundsport, this is the same. I have no idea what it is. There is one plugin about the kick that I know I like from Soundsport, but this is stuff that after the video, actually, I'm gonna remove them because they are here. I'm not using them, and I just bought them because there was £1, but at the end, I don't use them. So yeah, Frontier actually is a limiter, I think, from the 16. Yeah, but I never use it. The thing is, for my mastering, you will see what I will talk about what I use later. I either use the Fab Filter, but I use another one, and I will talk about it. That's why I barely use it. Alright, so this we see. Inside 2, I think it's Isotope. It's from Isotope. Yeah, it's to see the loudness. This I don't use it because I use another one, the free one on the end. But yeah, from Isotope, I have the vinyl one as well. This is free. This is great to add some crackle, some noise to your sound. It works better than Ableton one, so this one I use as well. This is one of the plugins I use. I've talked about it in one of the videos already. But yeah, this is one I like. I recommend to get it. It's free. Jupiter 8 is old scent from Arturia. Then you have kick 2. So this I used to use it a lot. I used to obviously design new kick. It's work well. It's from Sonic Academy, and I like because you can really shape new kick, and it's really nice. But I've made my own version with Ableton. We put the link in the description. So I'm using a little bit less, but I'm still using it because when I'm doing kick, I always like to. I'm not using always the same drum machine or the same plugin. I like to change. Because otherwise all your kicks sound the same. So I'm still using it. Great plugin. It's cost $30, I think. And yeah, Kickbox. I think this is the one from. That's the one from Soundsport. I like. I use it. I know a couple of times. I don't use it that often, but if you can grab it for £1, I think it's worth £1. But yeah. Then we have all the little one is like from the Sound Toys as well. But yeah, I'm not gonna go. You have just a little plate, which is a plate sound. This I think was for free at one point, so that's why I got it. But I'm don't use that often, to be honest. I'm very happy with the same with the Cramer Tape. I think it's like kind of tape, but yeah, there is a bigger version. Don't really use them. Wait, I'm gonna get rid of all of this plugin now. Little radiator. This is good as well, but I will come back to it with the normal version. Matrix 12. Megatron. This is Arturia. Microshift. This is Sound Toys as well. It's like a kind of pitch. Small pitch. Oh yeah, it's like in the chorus. This one, I think it's a kind of chorus, but I don't use that much because, again, I'm happy with Ableton chorus. I made a video with 5 weird Ableton chorus. Don't forget to check it out. It will appear in the corner right up there. And then you have the mini V. You have the mini filter. So this one was I got it for free because before they released the 3 filter that you will actually use. Like a year or 2 years before, I think was probably for kind of a marketing test. They released this one for free, probably to see if people engage with or no. And I like to use it just to color the sound. And I basically bring the cutoff at fully open, dry wet, fully open, maybe sometimes a bit of drive. But just by adding the plugin, it adds a little bit of color and warmth. I don't know, it's like with the 37 plugin, it adds a bit of warmth and color to the sound, which I like. So I use mixing keys like the same uncapted plugin is just to know in which key track is. Well, I don't use. Modular V is from Arturia as well. Nebula, I have no idea what it is. It's probably it's either Isotope or Soundsport. Pardon, sorry. Yeah, that's never use it. No, I think it's quite. It looks like LFO. I have no idea. Nectar, this is Isotope. I never use. What the fuck is this? Effect chain as well. This is the stuff for the mix. No, the mix is Neutron. I think this is like a vocal stuff. You have pitch. With a pitch correction, maybe so kind of auto tune this. I never use. The reason why I have this and I don't use is because I have Isotope. I have the music production bundle, so you have like Nectar, Neutron, RX and Ozone inside. I wanted just Ozone, but it's like usually when you buy just Ozone or the whole bundle, there is not that much in difference in price, so I always bought the bundle, and that's why I have all of them, but I never use them. All the Neutron, I think this is kind of mixing stuff that can talk to each other in a certain way. I think I never use them. Omnipressor, this one I like. This one I recommend. I use on my drum sometimes. It's like kind of a compressor expander. So yeah, it's great. This one I like. I like this. It works well. I just like how it works. It's Eventide, I think, again. Great company. Overtone, no idea. What's that? Oh, that's looks like the Elysia AQ, which is probably a kind of copy, but yeah, never used. Ozone 8, I don't know why I still have Ozone 8, probably because I upgrade and it's still there, but yeah, Ozone I like because Ableton for mastering, it's quite hard. Rather than Ozone it's really good. I really like, there is a couple of things I really like. The exciter, you can like excite some bands. You have as well the vintage I like to use the vintage tape, sorry. And yeah, the EQ usually I will use it, but the EQ is, for me, it's just an EQ, nothing else. The low end focus is something I think it's interesting. I just didn't really, I need more experience with it, but it does interesting things to your sound. And then, yeah, imager as well, I like to use to add a bit of stereo to your track. That's great. So this is my go-to plugin for mastering, because it's got everything inside and you can chain everything, and yeah, that's great. All right, Ozone is done. Panman. So this is another plugin I like to use. This is it's kind of like the autopan of Ableton, and you know that I like to use the autopan in Ableton, but sometimes it's a bit limited, and this one is great because you can kind of really change the way you plug in move, and like how your sound is going from the left to the right. You have different mode, and you can see here you can change different kind of mode, and that's really interesting. And you can even go to the preset. There is one preset I like, I think it's this one, and it's really nice if you like to add movement on your sound. So this is one that I use a lot as well, Panman, in my production, because I like to have my ambience going around, or the sound going around. Percolate is to make coffee. Oh, that was a bad joke. Percolate, same, don't really know, no idea what it does, and I don't give a shit. Phase mistress, this is kind of a phaser, I guess. I don't use much phaser, but when I use the Ableton one, but probably good one, I don't know. Piano, it's from Arturia. Pigment. All right, so Pigment. In terms of VST and instrument, to be honest, since Ableton released the wavetable, it happened the same that with Echo and Echo Boy. Since Ableton released wavetable, I used to be a big fan of Massive, and I stopped using it, and I use only wavetable now. And yeah, I would say that if you really want to invest in the third-party plugin, I would say probably Pigment. I mean, because it's you have wavetable, you have this kind of analog sound, and it's kind of all in one because you have SFX, but you have the sequencer as well. So it can be great. But I would still recommend to stick with Ableton plugin because they are nice, and there is already a lot to do that you can do with. But yeah, like it's like third-party instrument VST. I don't use that much. Cramer Tape is kind of a tape delay from Suntoys. Don't use Propan. This I think is again from Soundsport. Yeah, no idea what it is. Prophet, Punchbox. So this is has been an inspiration from my kick designer and kickbox. So basically, it's like Kick 2 is to create some. It's really nice to create some kicks, and basically you can see my the rack I've done is heavily inspired with Clicktop and tools where you can change the sample, change the pitch of the sample, layer sample, and you have the kick, the core, and then you can add some effect. So I'm still using it even if I have Ableton version. The thing is, again, different kind of plugin, different kind of color. And so yeah, you have the Rave Generator. This can be nice as well, but to add a bit of warmth, I don't use it that much to be fair, but yeah, that's another plugin from Soundtoys. Rave Light, I have no idea what it is. This is trial expired, so as you can see, I'm not using that often. We have Rave Generator. So this I think it's, you know about it. It's a free plugin where you can have like some classic techno stab. Great. Redominator. This is great if you are yeah, this one I've tried because I'm not really into that kind of sound, but you know, this kind of Hoover sound, classic. I've made the rack as well for this kind of sound anyway, but it's kind of sound. Redoptor, this is from D16. It's the same. I think it's a multi-band distortion, a vintage tube distortion, but yeah, with a parametric EQ. I don't use it, even though it's very good. I used to like very much D16, but Relay, and that's the Nebo dog. Alright, Relay, I have no idea what it is. Okay, that's look. Yes, it's Isotope. I don't know for what it is. Rave Play, this is a river from Arturia. Again, I think this was something like free, so I just grab it. They make it for free like before they do all this stuff. I don't use it. RX7 I don't use because I'm not really working with vocal. This is kind of handy if you work in post-production, if you need to get rid of some noise, if you work with vocal as well. But again, it was with the Isotope bundle, so I didn't use. Sausage Fattener, of course, this one I think. But this is the same. I used to use it a lot, but I use less and less now. This is handy if you want something to sound loud and quickly. That works well. It does the job well. Whatever people say, it works well. This is Arturia. This is the I think this is EQ from Sound Toys. Then you have Sonarwork Reference. So this is usually a plugin like coming with a microphone, and it's kind of to calibrate your speaker or your headphone. And the thing what it does is calculate your room, and it apply an EQ to your master. The thing is why I don't use it is because obviously I have two presets, one for my headphone, one for my speaker, and I have to all the time. I'm often switching between headphone and speaker, so I have all the time to switch between the preset, which is annoying, and so on the end I don't use it. And so just think about this. If you want to buy this, think about if you switch often between headphone and speaker, it might not be that convenient at the end. Stereo Savage, it's probably Soundsport as well. I don't know, Plugin Boutique, probably something to make things super wide. Subsequent, so this is the editor from the Sub 37. Yeah, I have a Sub 37. Was my birthday in June, and I made myself a little treat. And yeah, super handy. I wish all of the sounds we're releasing nowadays will be like with an editor like this. It's super handy. Like I can just like create the preset on the sand, touching everything, and then after save it and make all the automation, all the everything, recall the preset is just and it's the Moog sound. So yeah, amazing. Synclavier is Arturia, Synsonic. So this is what I think this is the same company than the first one. It's like if you want a kind of 808 kick drum, I have the 9011. I think it's a small company, and they do and it's like 5 or 10 pound plugin, so it's worth to have a look. Tonal Balance is from Isotope. I don't really use it. Track Spacer, this is the same. I used to use it, but I don't really use it. People usually use it for the kick and bass, like to kind of what it does is like detect the frequency of your kick and kind of subtract them to your bassline audio. But I don't really use it. I think it's handy, for example, if you work with vocal, because like I always try to have element who doesn't have the same frequency range. So I don't really need it, but if you have a vocal in your track, obviously it's gonna overgo your scent, and this kind of be great to kind of sidechain just the frequency of your vocal. Like this, you can still hear your scent, have your vocal in the same time. Trimulator, I don't use. Valhalla, this was free as well. It's a Gilet, I think. Valhalla make great plugin. I don't have because I'm happy with the Ableton reverb, but if you look for reverb, go for that. Valhalla, whatever. Velo, this means bike in French. I don't know if, I don't know. I have no idea what it does, but interesting. I'm gonna remove all of this stuff after the video. Vocal Sync is, I think it's stuff from Isotope for vocal, like a kind of toolbox, not toolbox, but talkbox and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not singing, but this was coming with the pack, so that's why I've got it. Vox Continental, Voxbox, I don't know what it is. This is gonna get out. And this one is the one I use for if I need to reference the loudness. It's free as well, so you can grab it. So you can see a lot of plugin, but I don't really use that much. The one I use mainly is Panman from Sound Toys. the file filter, the Saturn, and the limiter, Ozone, the Wave G37, and I think that's it. The rest they are just sleeping. It's like money sleeping there, well, you know. But yeah, so yeah, like this you can have an idea of how I waste my money and don't do like the same than I don't do the same. Really ask you before to buy a plugin if you really need it. And it's not even only about the money, it's about as well the time you're gonna spend to learn it, to on the end you're not gonna use it. If you were spending all this time in just one plugin, you will master this plugin. And believe me, that's what I've done with Ableton. And every time I wanna buy a plugin, I'm like, do I really need that? And most of the time I'm trying to do the same with Ableton. I managed to do it. I save bucks, I save time, and because you are doing it and you're trying to replicate this plugin with Ableton plugin, you're gonna start to learn even and know even more your own plugin, your own Ableton plugin, and yeah, the end will be like you will master your Ableton plugin like a killer, and it will fasten as well your workflow, obviously. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Be careful when you buy plugin. Black Friday is coming soon, so be careful. Don't spend too much money because you're gonna regret it. Spend in Ableton. Spend time making music. Don't spend time buying plugin. See you soon, guys. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you. Bye bye.